A dimly lit room flickers under a broken ceiling light as a photograph slowly develops in a tray of chemicals. At first it looks normal, until a shape appears in the background that wasn't there before. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. A man stares at an old printed photo under a desk lamp, his hands shaking slightly. He zooms in on a dark figure standing behind him, in a place he remembers being completely empty. That photo was taken when he was alone. This is Lost Signals, where evidence doesn't bring answers. It reveals something we were never meant to see. Today, we examine images that shouldn't exist, but somehow do. In 1965, inside a quiet suburban house, a family camera sat on a wooden table facing an empty hallway. The father set a timer and stepped into the frame, smiling under warm indoor lighting. Behind him, the hallway was completely dark. When the film was developed in a small photo lab filled with hanging negatives, something appeared in the background. A tall shadow stood at the end of the corridor, partially hidden by darkness. No one had been there. The family insisted the house was empty that night, with doors locked and windows sealed. Yet the figure stood clearly in the image, motionless, watching. No explanation was ever found. Years later, the photo was analyzed using high-resolution scanning equipment in a modern forensic lab. No signs of tampering were detected. The image was authentic. In 1997, a group of hikers stood on a rocky cliff overlooking a dense forest valley under bright daylight. They took several photos using a standard handheld camera. Nothing unusual was noticed at the time, but when the images were reviewed later on a desktop screen, something appeared between the trees below. A pale shape, partially hidden, standing where no trail existed. No one remembered seeing it. Zooming in revealed what looked like a human figure, but distorted in unnatural ways. Its proportions didn't match anything known. It didn't belong in that landscape. Experts from digital imaging labs examined the file under controlled lighting conditions. Pixel structures were consistent with the original capture. No editing, no manipulation, no error. In 2004, a security camera recorded a quiet hospital corridor under cold fluorescent lights. The hallway remained empty for hours, with no movement detected. Everything seemed normal. But in one frame, a figure appeared at the far end of the corridor, standing still, partially blurred, as if it wasn't fully there. Then it disappeared in the next frame. Technicians reviewed the footage on multiple monitors in a dark control room. There was no glitch, no distortion, no data corruption. The figure had been recorded. In another case, a tourist visiting an abandoned building captured a photo inside a broken room filled with dust and debris. Sunlight entered through shattered windows, illuminating the empty space. Nothing moved. But in the corner of the image, behind a collapsed wall, something stood in the shadows. A silhouette. Too defined to be random, too still to be alive. No one noticed it at the time. The original memory card was examined frame by frame using specialized software. Every image before and after showed nothing unusual. Only that single photo contained the figure. In 2012, a research team documented an isolated region using high-resolution aerial drones flying above a barren desert. Thousands of images were captured across miles of empty land. No human presence was expected. But in one image, a shape appeared standing alone in the open terrain. No tracks, no vehicle, no signs of arrival. Just a single figure in the middle of nowhere. Satellite overlays confirmed the location had no recorded activity for years. Weather conditions showed no disturbances on the ground. The figure had no origin. Across different decades, locations, and technologies, the pattern remained the same. Images captured something that wasn't there at the time. Something only visible afterward. A presence that appears only after the moment has passed, never during. Scientists attempted to explain these occurrences using environmental and optical theories. But none of the explanations matched every case, because these images share something unusual. The figures are always positioned with intention, never random, always placed, just outside awareness. In multiple cases, individuals reported feeling watched moments before taking the photo. A subtle discomfort, a sense of being observed in otherwise empty spaces, but nothing visible at the time. In one experiment, researchers recreated similar environments using controlled lighting and identical camera equipment. Hundreds of test images were captured inside sealed rooms. Nothing appeared, but when the original locations were revisited, the anomalies returned. Not consistently, but enough to raise serious questions. Something was tied to place, because maybe these are not just errors, not just glitches, not just coincidences. Maybe these images are showing something real, something that only exists once the moment has passed. And what makes this even more disturbing is that the figures never interact, never move, never change position. They simply appear and remain, as if they were always there, just unseen. Because in every case, the person taking the photo believed they were alone, until they weren't. And what if these images are not isolated incidents, but connected to something larger, something we've already started to see? Because in the locations we investigated before, signals failed, systems shut down, and reality began to distort. And in those same places, something was found, something hidden, something buried, something that does not belong. And now, something is being seen, not directly, but through images, through recordings. Because the photo wasn't the only evidence. In several cases, cameras captured more than still images. Video recordings showed brief appearances of similar figures under low light conditions, always at the edge of the frame. But every time, the recordings ended the same way. Signal interference, distortion, then complete silence. Because what these photos show might not just be something that appears, but something that approaches, slowly, quietly, without being noticed. And by the time it is seen, it's already too late. Subscribe to Lost Signals, because this is only the beginning.